Test patch, got the Rubyfluid, 1 part Rubyfluid mixed with 2 parts water for dipping the torch into. I applied Stayclean to here, which is the flux strip, using this brush right here. I got the 1/4 pound bar of solder ready to go. Got a dead blow hammer over there. Use the flat bar to bend a 3/4 inch around 180 degrees. About to hook up the torch. First notes on this thing is that the solder, as I was applying it, was very, very soupy, and if it had been a little bit tilted instead of level, it seems like it would have flowed away. Especially even like right here, it was hard to get it to go that way because there's a little bit of incline. I'm not sure if it's too soupy or anything funny. Doesn't look too good. Looks like it only got about 1/8 inch to maybe 1/4 inch under the fold with the solder. Once you get thick solder, this thing doesn't want to bend. I tried to put a crimp like about right here and bend, and it's bending like right here instead. Did a little better with the second pass, trying to do a little stitch. Every so often to try to pull it in deeper. It looks like it got 1/4 inch instead of an 1/8 inch this time. This is having pre-fluxed inside the lock before dressing it. I think it did better, but we'll see. A lot of time with extra heat started burning that board. Looks like we did really good this time, although it did burn that board. The solder went all the way back the 1 inch, and looks like it came around the corner and went 1 inch the other way, and then came around the corner again and went about 3/4 inch that way. So about right there, and it even came out on some of this stuff, like on the back side of the joint. So looks like this pass did extremely well on soldering the joint. We're installing this built-in gutter here, soldered copper, and we put this cleat on first. It's 1 inch down, 1/2 inch out, and the idea is so that the lip of this gutter can lock onto it. So we got an open hem underneath here, and then it can be free to expand and contract without any nails going through the gutter itself. So we just held this gutter kind of more or less upright there and use the soldering iron to solder, and it looks like it pulled through, sweated through the back side here pretty well. See how the solder came all the way. Got this hook strip here, and then the gutter will clip onto the bottom edge of it. And this little kick out. And to this day, we got the gutters hooked on the clip and the ends cap soldered on, and also put these clips onto there. Getting ready, we'll have one little finish up there. We use this little brush to paint on the Stayclean flux, so it'll solder better. There's the end cap of that one way back there. Fluxed and riveted and ready to be soldered. It sweated through pretty good. I was soldering on this side, and the gap was like right down there. But there's actually 2 layers, or 3, I should say 3 layers. There's this one, and then there's this gutter that got turned up like that in between these 2 layers. So you see the solder made it all the way out in some of the spots, so probably pretty good. There's a little extra bulk here and here, and I can take the soldering iron and just like slowly melt it off and let it get down to trim it up. Like that. Doing a water test of these gutters. Looks like they're all dry on this end here. I got this joint all soldered up, fluxed in between, ready to solder. Second pass, we'll probably do a third pass a little bit later. I don't think my tank was full of gas last time. For this outlet, we just cut a piece of flat stock copper for the downspout that was 10 inches long by about 14 inches around, whatever the circumference of a 4-inch diameter circle is, plus 1 inch. And then did a 1/2 inch hand lock from each side to lock it together. Riveted it down that seam and then soldered down that seam, and then folded these edges every inch or so, folded them down so that they got 1 inch over onto this gutter, fluxed it, soldered it on there, and I may go back and put a kind of an annular 4-inch to 5-inch or 4-inch to 6-inch diameter ring on here, but we'll see about that. But that would just be kind of extra protection. We still did the tabs on the top of this gutter downspout, and it's in between mesh with this extra annular ring kind of trim piece that we did this time, riveted all together. Now I'm putting this Stayclean Flux just over the rivets. And I already applied this in the intermediary layers. So we're using the Stayclean for the direct flux. We're using Rubyfluid and 2/3 water, 1/3 Rubyfluid for the keeping the tip of the gun clean in between like runs, like if we do that whole run there, and then we could dip it in before we do that run kind of thing. Here we're wiping the flux off with water and a rag after it's cooled down. Wiping the excess flux off with water and a rag after the solder has cooled down. Keep the copper as clean as possible. For this little sidewall, I just bent the edge up where a panel will come and lock on there, and I also bent the bottom down so it can clamp onto this right here, just like a panel. All right, he's applying the Stayclean Flux to these cleats, and then he's going to fold over the cleat onto the nail head and feed it down just like we did on those two. Saw that this rivet gun was having trouble pushing the rivets in, and also was like you pull the trigger and it wouldn't pop the rivet, and so my buddy figured out you just got to spin this back that way, and now it's loose, able to go in there, and it's able to rivet.